Here's how I automate my monthly business review. So let's go ahead, execute the workflow. There we go. So I have that executed, and then I go to my Gmail. And when we check in the Gmail, it gives me the revenue that I made, the amount of leads I got in that month, how many I converted, and what my conversion rate was. And then it gives me an overall summary and some key points on what I might need to focus on more. And it gives me the previous month's report, which this month is April. And that's how I go ahead and I receive the monthly report at the beginning of every single month, just like that, and it runs automatically without me needing to go ahead and touch anything. So I'm going to show you how to build this automation for yourself, and of course, in case you just want to go ahead and immediately grab this workflow, I will have it down below in the link in the description. But without further ado, let me show you how you set this up. All right, so the first thing you obviously want to have, now this is only test data right here that we're working with. You want to have a Google Sheet document where you're storing all of the information with the columns of date, type, amount, and converted. So as you can see right here, it's the date, the lead, and the amount. The amount, you only enter the revenue, and then the converted, you go ahead and put that in. So whether you convert them, then you say yes. Whether you did not, you say no. And this process is what you're going to be doing manually. All right, now after you have that set up, your Google Sheet document, let me go ahead and show you how to build the automation. So go ahead and name it. There we go. So monthly business review. And then the very first note you want to place down is you want to search schedule. Then you want to come to the trigger interval and you want to change that to months. Leave that as one, leave that as one. And you can change the time when you want it to run to whatever time you want. So I will put it at 8 a.m. Now what this basically means is that at the start of every single month, it will go ahead and run this automation so I can get a review of how my business did in the previous month. Now after you've gone ahead and done that, you want to go ahead the code node, so JavaScript and code, and here's where you're going to be specifically setting it so it checks for only last month's information. So set month boundary. Now I already have the code copied for myself. I'll go ahead and I'll copy all of this. Basically, that's how it looks right there. Remember, you will be able to grab it in the link in the description. The whole workflow set will be there for you already. Let's go ahead, paste that in there. And right after we have set the boundaries, now you want to go ahead, type Google Sheet, and here's where we want to get all of the information. So click get rows in sheet. Go ahead, pick the document name. Mine is business review, and the sheet where you're storing all of the information, and that's all you want to do. So get all rows right there. Now right after that, here's where you want to come ahead and you want to filter it out to only last month's information. Now apparently we don't have any test data to work with. Therefore what I need you to do now is to execute the workflow so we can get some test data. All right, and here we go. Now we have the test data. You want to drag in the date from the get all rows, drag in the date there, and then here where it says date time, you want to come here and pick is after or equal to, change that to an expression. Then you want to go here where it says set month boundaries, here where it says start, drag that all the way in there, add another condition, leave that on and. Now you want to go ahead, get all rows once again, drag in the date. This time you want to say is before, so and this will signify the end. Go to set month boundaries and then drag the end right there. So that will make sure that it specifically gets last month's information. All right, now after that you want to now go ahead and we want to see if we got any information at all. So type in if. Now the value that I want to go ahead and put right there, I already have it for myself so I can copy it. There we go, and that's basically what you want to put in there. And here you want to say is greater than 0, and you want to toggle on convert types where required. What this node is basically responsible for is to check whether we even have any information to work with, and if we do not, it will not continue at all. All right, so it basically guards it against empty results. Now at the true branch, here's where we want to do some more work. So you want to now go ahead, type in filter, and here we're specifically now going to check if the type is a revenue. So this line is only going to work with the revenue. So $JSON dot, actually the square brackets right there, and then those one quotation marks, and type in type right there, and then is equal to revenue. So this is specifically going to handle the revenue section right here. So now that we've got the revenue only there, and now we want to go ahead and count it all together. So we want to go ahead, type in summarize, and this will allow us to count every single thing. So now you want to go ahead, type amount, because as you can remember in the Google Sheet, and the amount is where we're storing the amount of revenue we made in that month. month. So amount right there, and here where it says aggregate, you want to come here, select sum right here, and that's all you want to do. Rename that. So now we will get the total revenue, and remember, you don't have to do anything else. So now we'll get the total revenue. Now you want to come here to true again, type in filter. This time we're only going to get the leads. So you want to go ahead, $sign once again, JSON, square bracket, one quotation mark, type, and this time you want to type in lead. Remember, so right here, that's what we saved it as, so it needs to be a lead. So lead right there, type, rename that, leads. Now, I'm going to go ahead, click summarize, and here we want to first get the total, so the total amount of leads that we got in that month. So come here, then you want to go ahead, type right there, and then what you want to go ahead is you want to count, and you want to leave that right there. And here, type in total leads. So here's where we're going to gather the total leads. Now here where it says leads, once again at this filter, now you want to go ahead and check for how many you converted. So go ahead, type in filter once again, and now you want to go ahead, $sign JSON brackets right there, and then the single quotation marks right there. And now you want to type in converted, which was the column name right here, and you want to set that to yes, so that means we did convert them. Now that's the leads that were converted. Now you want to go ahead and you want to count them. So summarize, and you want to go ahead and you leave that on count. And here you want to then go ahead and count the put in type right there and leave it as it is. So converted leads, rename that. All right, so now we have all of this. So we have the total revenue, we have the total leads, and we have the converted leads. Now we want to put all of that together so we can work with all of that information. So we want to go ahead, click the total revenue, type in merge, and here's how we're going to connect all of the lines all together. So change the number of inputs to 3. Now you want to go ahead, drag that down, drag the total leads to input 2, drag the converted leads to input 3. Now after we've gone and done all of that, you want to go ahead at the code node once again, code in JavaScript, and what this code will be responsible for is it's going to calculate the conversion rate and give that to you, and it will also go ahead and build the summary object. Now I already had this for myself already, so I can go ahead, copy that right there. Now here where it says revenue, the revenue we'll be getting from total revenue right there. So we'll check in a bit how that is doing, but let's go ahead and first get some test data to work with to make sure everything is working correctly. So execute the workflow, and right there, as you can see, everything worked well. Let's go in here, check if it's gathering everything. So total revenue, the month label, total leads, converted leads, and the conversion rate. All right, so it's doing everything perfectly. By the way, what you want to make sure when you're customizing and making your own one, here where it says leads, you want to make sure that this right here is actually right here, it's equal to this one. So it's the name of this node that you use. So inside of this code that calculates the conversion, you want to make sure that you're referring to the correct node with the correct name. So total leads, which is total leads right there. The converted right here, we gathered that from converted leads, and this you don't need to worry about it. This calculates the conversion rate. The month label, this will just get the month where all of this belongs to. Now after you've gone ahead and done that, type in OpenAI, and here's where you're going to message your model, and this will summarize everything together for you. So AI written summary, and then the model I would personally go for is GPT-4o mini because it's the cheapest, but it's also extremely reliable. The GPT-4o mini, then change that to an expression. Now I already have a prompt for myself to copy and paste once again. Now right there, that's how my prompt looks like. So there's the month label, the total revenue, all of that, and it keeps it short and concise. So now that we have the AI there that will summarize everything for us, we'll now go ahead and add the final node, which is sending the email to yourself. Gmail, send a message right there, type in your own email, and then here where it says subject, you want to do this, you want to go ahead and drag the set boundaries, the month label. So you can find that right here where it says set boundaries right there, and the month label, drag that all the way in there, and then type in business report. That way you can know which month this report belongs to. Here it says email type, change that to text, change the message to expression, open that up, and I have a quick one for myself already there so I can copy and paste it. As you can see right there, it's showing red. The reason for that is because the names are not the same. As you can see, there are those double dots right there, and I need to go ahead and add them here as well. So I hope you see that when it's not even correct word for word and bit by bit, it's not going to put everything together. So here it says JSON.output, leave that as that, because that's going to grab the AI written summary and then it'll go ahead and email you. So after all of that, come down to add option, append init and attribution, toggle that off, sender name, put in your own name. If you don't do that, usually it puts your Gmail when you're sending it to someone else. But even if you don't put the sender name and you're sending it to yourself, it'll always label it as me. So you don't need to worry about it when you're sending the email to yourself. And that's basically everything right there. And as you can see, it's not as complicated as it seemed. So let's go ahead and now I'll execute the workflow and then I'll show you the Gmail that I got. So execute the workflow. All right, so I made a mistake. I didn't put in my email correctly. I put in my email and then execute the workflow. Sends me the email and now it is completed. Now let's go ahead and check if it sent it to us. And there you go. So March 2026 business report, the monthly report for March 2026, the revenue, sales, converted, conversion rate, and the summary that it gave us. So in March 2026, your business generated a total revenue of $13,000, which is a solid achievement. And then yada yada yada, it gives you some feedback that you might want to improve on, and you can decide if you want to act on it or not. But that's the entire automation right there. It's this simple to build, and it'll save you a lot of time every single month, and it'll help you keep track of how much you're making, how many leads you're getting, and what the conversion rate is of those leads, so you can go ahead and keep track of everything and improve where necessary. So don't forget that I do have this workflow down below in the description in case you want to just go ahead and grab it for yourself. But that's the end of the video, and I hope you found this useful.